This podcast is brought to you by the Down the Middle Podcast.
Welcome back to the AI Analysis Podcast. We love to analyze AI stuff here, but today we're switching gears a little bit. We're going to be talking about something different, something we think you'll find really, really fascinating, especially if you're interested in how things work behind the scenes in different fields.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we were listening to this other podcast called The Road to Stardom with David Firestone. And it's all about like the inside scoop on Hollywood.
Yeah.
Specifically from the point of view of people in talent management.
Yeah.
Like, what is it really like to work with actors and try to help them make it big?
Right. And the episode that we were listening to, this is a gold mine for anyone who's curious about this kind of stuff. David Firestone is interviewing this guy, Terry Luce, who's been a talent manager for ages.
Yeah.
And they just get so real about all the ups and downs of trying to break into Hollywood. Not just as an actor, but also as someone working behind the scenes, like an agent or a manager. If any of you listening are actors or thinking about going into acting, I highly recommend checking out The Road to Stardom with David Firestone. You'll get some real talk and good advice.
Definitely.
So what we're going to do today is pull out some of the most interesting stories and insights from Terry Luce's journey. Like, what did he do? What did he learn along the way? Hopefully you'll get a pretty good understanding of what it's really like to be a part of that crazy world. We'll cover everything from his start as an actor to becoming a talent manager, and now he's even producing films.
Yeah. It's a pretty wild ride.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Terry's journey into acting back in the late 1980s. It wasn't your typical story, was it? Talk about being in the right place at the right time.
I know it sounds like something out of a movie. He was selling cars in Irvine. It's just a regular job.
Mm-hmm.
And a retired commercial director came in, bought a car from him. And this director saw something in a candidacy. Terry liked his energy or whatever and suggested he go to a casting workshop in Hollywood run by Estelle Tepper.
Wow, what a chance encounter. It's crazy how sometimes opportunities come from the most unexpected places.
So true. You never know who you're going to meet.
Exactly. So he took this workshop, and what happened?
Well, there were like 20 students in the workshop, and they had an agent showcase night.
Okay.
And only 3 students, including Terry, ended up getting agents. So he must have really stood out. It's not just about talent. It's got to be something about his presence, too.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what those agents saw in those 3 people.
Right. Like, what makes someone stand out?
Exactly. So then his very first audition was for a Long John Silver's commercial. And get this, it turned into a national campaign.
That's amazing. For a first audition, talk about hitting the ground running.
What was it? Just pure luck, or did he do something special?
Well, Terry talked about how they asked him to improvise during the audition. He came up with this line about a little girl who wants French fries. And he's joking that the grease is going to come out of her head. And the ad agency people from Chicago, they were running the audition. They loved it. So I think it was a combination of luck and being quick on his feet.
Yeah. It's always good to be prepared to think on your feet, especially in those situations.
Oh, definitely.
But this commercial also had another impact on his career that's pretty important. It's how he got into the union.
Oh, right. So the commercial was filmed close to when SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, might go on strike.
Well.
And because of that, Terry was Taft-Hartleyed into SAG.
Okay, I've heard that term before, but I'm not totally clear on what it means.
So basically, it's a rule that lets non-union actors work on union productions in certain situations. And that makes them eligible to join the union.
So he sort of got fast-tracked into SAG.
Pretty much. And back then, joining SAG was like a huge deal for actors.
Right, it meant you were serious about it.
Yeah, it opened up a lot more job opportunities, better pay, all that good stuff.
So it's really interesting how those early experiences kind of shaped his path. But it wasn't all smooth sailing after that commercial. There was a bit of a hiccup with the SAG board.
Yeah, so because he worked on that commercial so close to a potential strike, the union kind of blacklisted him for a little bit. He had to go before the SAG board and explain what happened.
Oh, wow. That's intense.
He even talked about meeting Wilford Brimley, the guy from the Quaker Oats commercials.
The mustache guy.
Yeah, that guy. He was on the SAG board at the time.
That's wild. Talk about intimidating.
It just shows you how seriously the union took things. But in the end, it all worked out. He got into SAG.
Glad to hear it. And the cost of being in the union back then was way different compared to now, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. Terry said SAG dues in the 80s were about $800 a year. He thinks those dues would be closer to like $4,000 a year now.
Whoa, that's a big difference.
It makes you think about how much harder it is for actors starting out today. I mean, back then it was easier to join SAG and get all the benefits without having to worry so much about the cost.
Right, because everything is so much more expensive now.
Exactly.
Okay, so we know that trying to make a living as an actor is tough, especially when you're starting out. Terry mentioned that a lot of actors he knew were waiting tables or bartending to support themselves, but he did something different.
Yeah, instead of waiting tables, Terry drove limousines. But it wasn't just any limo company. It was Liberty Limousine, which was the go-to service for celebrities and big studio people.
Oh, okay.
So he's driving around all these important people in Hollywood. Talk about networking opportunities.
That's amazing. I mean, what a way to get your foot in the door.
I know, right? It shows that you never know where a connection might come from.
So did he drive around any big names that we might recognize?
Oh, tons. Robin Williams, a bunch of the actresses who played Bond girls, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bruce Willis, even drove Steven Seagal. And it wasn't just like driving them around in silence. He had conversations with them, got to see what they were like as people.
That's so cool. It's like a sneak peek into the lives of those celebrities.
It really is. And it probably gave him a unique perspective on the industry.
Absolutely. He also mentioned something about Planet Hollywood, which was huge back then.
Right. He drove for some Planet Hollywood execs and got to go to those grand opening parties. He even talked about this really cool one in Beverly Hills.
I bet those were wild.
He said he even got a custom Planet Hollywood jacket from the designer Tony Novak. He still have it.
That's awesome. So he really was immersed in that whole Hollywood scene.
Yeah, he really was.
Okay, so from driving stars around to that awesome commercial, Terry eventually became a talent manager. How did that happen? Did he always plan to go that route, or is it more of an accident?
It sounds like it happened pretty naturally. He started out helping his actor friends, putting together their headshots and demo reels, pitching them to casting directors he knew from his driving days. They were all supporting each other, which makes sense. It's like a community thing.
Right. They were all trying to make it.
And along the way, Terry found he really liked helping people navigate the industry. It just goes to show that sometimes our careers develop in ways we never expect.
That's true. You find yourself doing something you never thought you would, and then it turns out you're good at it.
Exactly. And then he had to choose between being a manager and being an agent.
Right. And he chose to be a manager. Why was that?
He said he liked the freedom that managers have. Agents are more tied to an office and things are more structured. And he preferred being able to guide his clients more personally. I guess different personalities are drawn to different roles in the business.
Yeah, that makes sense. So to officially become a talent manager, he joined the Talent Managers Association, or TMA. What's that all about?
Yeah, it's a professional organization for talent managers. He was sponsored by Paul Bennett, which again shows how important connections are in this business.
Yeah.
And the TMA gives managers a framework, resources, ethical guidelines, a way to connect with each other and support one another. It's pretty important to have that kind of structure.
And he talked about the TMA's H Award shows. What were those all about?
Oh, yeah, those are pretty cool. The TMA used the H Awards to recognize casting directors, agents, managers, all the people who work behind the scenes to make things happen. It was a way to show appreciation and build relationships.
It's nice to get recognized for your hard work, right?
Definitely. And it sounds like there was a lot of camaraderie among the managers in the TMA back then. They would share their experiences, offer advice, help each other's clients. It was like a real community.
That's awesome.
But then things changed. Terry talked about how tough it's been for talent managers in recent years, with strikes, the pandemic, to shift to virtual casting.
Yeah, the whole industry has been turned upside down. We're going to take a quick break for a word from our sponsors. And when we get back, we'll hear about Terry's move into producing and the advice he has for anyone who wants to break into acting. Stay tuned.
How's it going, everybody? It's Jake from the Down the Middle Podcast, and I'm going to take a quick moment to invite you to check out our show, which airs every other Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on YouTube. If you love pro wrestling, you're definitely going to want to check this out. We talk about the latest in pro wrestling.
AEW's pay-per-views are rough, man. And it's obvious, like, Tony Khan is booking for Tony Khan, and it's obvious because Tony Khan has clinical freaking ADHD, but the kind where, like, you can hyper-focus on the thing you love. He's like, I legitimately want to watch wrestling for 7 hours. It's like, Tony.
Now everybody else does.
Hardly anybody else does.
We talk about some of our favorite things in pro wrestling.
One of the best promos ever. Like, can we just say, like, I had fucking goosebumps. And here's the thing, I know it's a work, but I'm watching that and I'm like, I think MJF might have duped somebody.
And we have a hot take here and there, too.
Nothing against Riho. It's just like, do you think the audience is f***ing stupid? Riho weighs 98 pounds.
The vast majority of great moments in professional wrestling have nothing to do with the move. Don't get me wrong, the moves are part of it. Cena's like, I don't even remember how I won. Everybody remembers this.
But the best part about our show is that you are part of the conversation. So check out the show and join in the fun.
Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about Terry Luce's journey from acting to talent management and all the challenges that managers have faced in recent years. Now let's hear about what he's up to now, producing films.
That's right. He still runs his talent management company, Exclusive Talent Management.
Okay.
But he's also getting back into producing, which he really loves. He said having access to funding is key. You need money to make movies. And now he has that, which allows him to really pursue his passion.
So he's gone from representing talent to creating projects for them. That makes sense. What's driving this new focus on producing?
He said he just loves the whole process of developing stories, working with actors from the very beginning. That creative energy really appeals to him. It shows you how people can evolve and find new ways to express themselves in the entertainment world.
I think it's great when people follow their passion. So he's even written a couple of screenplays himself, right? What can you tell us about those?
Okay, so one is a comedy called The King and I. It's about what if Elvis was still alive today.
Okay, that's an interesting premise.
I know, right? And the other one is called The Blue Crayon, and it's about dolphin therapy for kids with autism.
Wow, what a range of topics.
It even made it to the quarterfinals of the Miami Screenplay Competition. Pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
He wants to get both of those films produced, which would be amazing. It would be really cool to see his ideas come to life on the big screen.
It's great that he's going for it, and I'm sure our listeners would love to hear what advice he has for aspiring actors.
Definitely. His biggest piece of advice comes straight from Elvis himself. Follow that dream.
Oh, I love that song.
Terry said you have to be able to really picture your goals and stick with them.
Okay.
Even when things get tough, there are going to be obstacles, and rejection is part of the game.
That's for sure.
But you have to stay focused on what you want. And he had some specific advice about social media, which is so important for actors these days.
Oh, yeah. Social media can make or break you. What did he say about it?
He was really adamant about keeping your social media clean and professional. He pointed out that casting directors and their teams actually look at actors' social media.
They do their research.
Oh, yeah. It's a big part of how they decide who to call in for an audition. So you got to make sure your online presence is something you're proud of, something that represents you well.
It's like your digital resume.
Exactly. So what really strikes me about Terry's story is how everything he's done, from acting to driving those limos to managing talent and now producing, it's all connected. It's all given him valuable experience and a deeper understanding of how Hollywood works.
That's so true. It's like all those different paths have led him to where he is now.
And it's a good reminder that sometimes the most unusual experiences can end up being the most valuable.
Terry Luce's story, as we've heard it on The Road to Stardom with David Firestone, is really an amazing journey through the entertainment industry. From that chance encounter with the director while selling cars to becoming a talent manager and now venturing into producing it shows that Hollywood is full of twists and turns.
Yeah, and his story really emphasizes how important it is to be adaptable and never give up on your dreams. And his insights into how the industry has changed over the years, from the role of the SAG union to the rise of social media, that's super valuable for anyone who's interested in working in the arts.
We hope you enjoyed this little peek into Terry's world. It's a good reminder that behind every success story, there are so many individual journeys, each with its own challenges and unexpected opportunities.
Now, we want to hear from you what part of Terry's story really stood out to you. Did his advice about following your dream even when things get tough resonate with you? We encourage you to check out The Road to Stardom with David Firestone to hear the whole conversation. It's really worth listening to.
And here's something else to think about. In a world like Hollywood that's always changing, what qualities do you think are essential for making it? What helps people navigate the ups and downs and achieve success no matter what path they take?